Whitby in times past is defined by the photographs of Frank Meadow Sutcliffe. Many of them depict scenes full of Christian imagery, like loaves and fishes, and the Good Shepherd, but all of them celebrate the local people who brought home the harvests of land and sea. Photographer Michael Shaw literally inherited this legacy when his father bought Sutcliffe's entire collection of 1,500 glass plate negatives.
I think Whitby has physically remained quite similar to how it was in Sutcliffe's day in a lot of respects, which is why people love coming to Whitby, because it has maintained its character. I was brought up here, as my father was, and my great-grandfather is in one of the Sutcliffe photographs, actually, one of the fishermen. And I think to actually be brought up here and to appreciate the beautiful scenery, the skies, the magical light that this area possesses, it really feeds the soul. It really does. One of the things that motivated Frank Sutcliffe was his love of nature. He wanted to capture a world that he saw quickly disappearing with the onset of industrialisation and mechanisation. In the Victorian period, the majority of photographers were portrait photographers, and Sutcliffe himself was a very successful portrait photographer, but what he really wanted to do was capture the everyday working people and also inject some artistry into his work. He found more beauty in, I think, the working people of Whitby than maybe some of his portraits that he took, the real world he wanted to capture. Sutcliffe's photographs depict many forms of harvest, really. The bountiful fish that was available in those days, and the harvest that was found obviously in the countryside, the wheat and the barley and everything like that. And the community itself is in itself a harvest that he saw disappearing, that the close-knit community that he felt was so important, so special.
Sutcliffe's images of St Mary's Parish Church give a real sense of how unchanging its care for the community has been throughout the ages and seasons. There's something very special about light, lives and landscape shaped by proximity to the sea. So let's join with another port community and the Church of Another St Mary's in Portsea. Just a few miles inland from Whitby, Egton Bridge Old Gooseberry Society hold the country's oldest gooseberry show every summer in the school, which used to be the Catholic Church before the community built a bigger one next door. This horticultural harvest may seem polite and gentlemanly, but don't be fooled into believing it's not competitive. The show's history dates back more than 200 years, with secrets of growing the biggest and heaviest gooseberries being handed down the generations.
28 grams and 5 kilograms.
And increasingly, there are international reputations and even world records hanging on each year's crop.
These are good.
The gooseberries are not the only fruit of creation. At the foot of the North Yorkshire moors, a hard livelihood is earned from mixed farming.
Farming is in the blood. I've been involved in it ever since I was knee-height of a grasshopper. We're a mixed farm. We love animals and we spend a lot of time with animals, but our land is very variable, from clay to sand, and so we've got to accommodate with crops and animals the type of soil that we have. Harvest time to me is a very exciting time. I've had a faith in God, in Jesus Christ, for many, many years. And over those years, we've seen His goodness, His provision, His care, His love expressed, particularly through the harvest that we get. Last year, the soil suffered tremendously from the excess water that fell from the heavens above. An amazing thing has happened this year, though. And the amazing thing is that God knows how to put the balance right. And He's brought the sunshine. And that in its turn has opened up the soil again, to such an extent that I can almost put my hand down and let life begin within the soil again. Every year is surprising. Every year brings something new. Every year brings a different emphasis on how this harvest is brought about. And I believe in a God of balance. And this God of balance will provide one way or another, but I believe He always has us in His heart.
For our next hymn, we join the congregation of Pershaw Abbey singing a hymn tune written by Francis Jackson, named after his North Yorkshire home village of East Acklam.